Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Next Stuff. Today's guest is a very visionary colleague and friend of Next, Simon Rost, who is leading the global marketing at the GA Healthcare. Simon, your expertise, which is coming from tech and marketing, and you're certainly a man who follows and even defines the trends. So certainly really glad to having you here today. And my first question, which is quite simple, is how are you doing?
So far, so good. Thanks for having me, Dario. Always good to catch up with you.
Fantastic. So let's proceed with the question deck, which we prepared for you today. And my first question is, as already mentioned, you're very well known for innovation. Why does pharma fail at innovation and in incremental changes?
I mean, first of all, you said it before, I'm representing the medtech / digital health perspective here. So GE is a medtech company with also a significant digital health arm, and I lead marketing for that. So it's a different kind of perspective, I would say, but it's always, I believe in looking over the fence and seeing what other industries are doing. So maybe I can add my 2 cents here, what pharma could maybe do differently. That's one point. Secondly, I don't fully buy into the statement that pharma completely fails in innovation. I'm recently reading a book, it's called The Vaccine, from the BioNTech founders, and that's a great example where innovation is happening at a very fast, let's say, pace. But what I think is important is that healthcare is a very complex sector, and not one company can address all of these, let's say, challenges. Let it be access, let it be waste, let it be burnout. There are many challenges our industry is facing, and it would be arrogant to say that only one company can tackle those. So what we did in GE Healthcare is we created this collaborative ecosystem. We launched a program called the Edison Accelerator, which is our way to innovate and to do this with an ecosystem in the healthcare space. So what do we do here? We bring together startups, medtech players, hospitals, other industry players like the big techs, and also acceleration partners, even academia, to work on defined problem statements. And each of these, let's say, partners I just talked about are collaborating at eye level. They bring different kind of things to the table. For example, the startups, they are agile, they are fast, they sometimes have the innovative technology, but they normally don't have access to the data, and they don't have access to the problem statements out there. That's where likely the most important player for our world comes into play, which are the healthcare institutions. They have some medical expertise that they bring to the table, but they also define the problem statement that technology and innovation has to solve. So a very crucial part of the game. Then we have industry partners like big techs, like the AWS of the world, the Intels, and so forth. They normally bring in a very detailed tech stack that this ecosystem can use. We have also acceleration partners that know how to knit this all together. We in GE Healthcare work with Vira, the open innovation arm from Telefonica here. And then we as GE Healthcare, we also have the expertise as a medtech and as a digital health powerhouse. And if you bring all of that together in on eye level, in a collaborative mindset, that's where basic innovation can thrive and happen. So collaboration would be the name of the game. And that's what I believe has to be done differently.
Thanks a lot, Simon. Next question. We all know that a lot of hype has been generated around ChatGPT, and we all share that bullish enthusiasm from this intelligent side of what AI is capable to do. But as said, ChatGPT seems very hyped, but are there any commercial and digital use cases for pharma which can be considered for implementation for better ATP engagements?
Mm-hmm. So for healthcare professional engagement, you are saying. So first, I have to say, yeah, this hype that you talk about is real. I think it's a technology that people have to start using to get used to it and to understand it, right? I mean, I think if you're looking for a sign that artificial intelligence is not science fiction, but science fact, ChatGPT would be the prime example. It's, from my understanding, the first algorithm that made it to the prestigious Time magazine, to the cover page. And I think in this issue, ChatGPT is on the cover page. And also the the speed of adoption of this technology is mind-blowing. Some statistics that I looked up when I started to think about ChatGPT. It took Netflix in 1999, 3.5 years to come to 1 million users. Facebook 5 years later needed only, I think, a couple of months, right? 10 months or 11 months, if I'm not wrong. And basically ChatGPT took 5 days to get these 1 million users. So it is for sure technology that is finding step by step the way into mainstream practice. What can it do in healthcare, and specifically for healthcare professionals? I think the first and most prominent, my top 5 use cases. The first one would be as a chatbot, right, for patient support. These large language models can be used to, at the end, give guidance and personalize kind of treatments, help to check symptoms and so forth. And this can help to, at the end, free up time for the healthcare professional. That's one big use case. Second one is helping healthcare professionals in the medical diagnosis and treatment space. That's also something where this technology can make a big difference from my understanding. Clinical trials, especially for pharma, is the third use case where I see a big, let's say, future for ChatGPT. And then patient and healthcare professional education is also something where this technology can make a difference. And last but not least, you can use it to apply it to electronic health records and other data sources, like enterprise imaging, for example, where this technology can make a difference. And these are the prime 5 use cases I see today, where this technology, these large language models, can make a difference. Having said this, if you saw the counterpart BART from Google, this was which was launched as well recently as an answer, these models are still in the nascent stage, I would say. We still have to learn how to work with them. We have to also be aware of the failures they could have. And I always see them, like AI in general, as a tool that augments your capability. It will not replace you. It will help you basically to augment the capabilities of healthcare professionals. For me, it's always this kind of combination of, let's say, clinical knowledge on the one hand, of technology and of data science. If you bring these 3 things together, they are at the end in a tool. This can help healthcare professionals to either free up time or to have to take a more informed decision. And that's where this technology also can make a difference. But as I said, we have to be also careful with these kind of technologies, as they are nascent and they can still be wrong.
Exactly. Aligning the expectations. Next question. I mean, we never like to predict, especially not with peers who fail at predictions. However, your vision is always very refreshing and realistic. So I want to speak actually about trends today. And what are actually those trends which will very soon become mainstream in pharma or in medtech, which you see?
I told you before, I believe that successful healthcare organizations or healthcare providers in the future will marry basically clinical medicine with data science. That's a big one, right? And therefore, developments, I believe, are accelerating this tendency. One is the connected and empowered patient. I mean, all of you guys have a smartphone today. More people have basically access to a smartphone than to the toilet. I read in a recent report as well. So this is very powerful. And patients also want to engage in their journey and in their patient journey. So there will be a shift away from treatment only towards prevention as well. That's a big one, I believe, a big trend where any player in the healthcare industry should be aware of. The second one is digital technologies and AI. We talked about this a lot. These are technologies that are step by step finding their way into the medical space and into the workflows of healthcare professionals. So that's the second big one where you have to focus on as a healthcare company. The third one is what I call the convergence between healthcare, fitness, and wellness. The boundaries between these sectors are getting more and more, let's say, blurry. And that's something we also have to be aware of, right? In the near future, a pill likely competes with an application on your smartphone, right? And we have to see how we bring these kind of treatments together to go from today treatment-focused, let's say, sick care towards true healthcare and prevention. And last but not least is what I said before, this kind of mindset of a collaborative ecosystem, a health ecosystem. It's clear that not one company alone can solve the problems of our healthcare sector. So we have to open up for more collaboration and more collaborative innovation. These are 4 trends I think everybody should be aware of.
Thanks, Simon. It was a great pleasure, like always, and hopefully seeing you in Dubrovnik.
Thanks.